are you?
Hi. I'm
Hi.
well. I'm very well, thank you. Are you?
That's wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much.
Good. Good.
And I'm so excited to do this interview with you. I know you have a lot of great information to share with people regarding a
Yep.
whole food plant-based lifestyle.
Yep.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got started with this lifestyle, and just what you've been doing, and just a little bit about yourself to give people an idea.
Well, I started eating plant-based fully about 3 years ago. But before that, I've always been into nutrition because more for mental health problems. I suffered depression many, many years ago, and that kind of set me on the path to a healthy lifestyle. So many years ago, I started on that path with healthy eating and exercise, doing all the right things, totally changed my life. It has, as time's gone on, I've gone further into that and started eating plant-based, going down the road of eating lots of raw foods, just I like to keep pushing it a bit further and further, because it just makes you feel so amazing. The further you go with it, the better you feel. So yeah, that's what started me in the beginning, but now I just do it because I want to help other people, to maybe help to help them feel better. Lots of people suffer from depression, anxiety, lots of mental illness at the moment, and I believe food is a very good way to help combat that. It has me. It totally changed my life, better than any drugs or anything else. So that's my story of how I got into it.
It really does, Stephanie. And you may
Mm-hmm.
or may not know, I can totally relate because I suffered with depression all my life. Same thing, and I put a
Mm-hmm.
video on my YouTube channel about it, how it healed me. So our stories
Wow.
are very similar, and I just realized now that you had dealt with depression. So it
Mm-hmm.
really can help. It might not help,
Yeah.
100% for everybody, but there is a lot of benefit, and there's a lot of information and studies that show that how a plant-based diet can really help with depression and anxiety. So that's
Yeah.
wonderful that you were able to recover from it too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
So
think
what is your? I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Oh, I
Stephanie.
was just going to say that it's also really important to exercise, because I think one without the other isn't as effective. So that's really important for depression and anxiety too. Yeah.
Yes, totally. It sure is.
Hmm.
Um, so your background, you have training with plant-based nutrition. What have you done? Where are you with that?
Well, I've always studied nutrition for over 20 years. I've done, I've studied nutritional therapy. I've studied nutrition for weight loss and sports nutrition too. But that wasn't necessarily plant-based when I was studying it back then. But really, I've just learnt myself with the plant-based diet, over
Yes.
the last 3 years, built on what I already knew. So yeah,
Yes.
I know how to put proper meals together, complete meals together anyway. So
That's
yeah.
that's super. And that's exactly what I've been doing for 7 years.
Hmm.
There's so
Wow.
much information out there. And we have access to all of this information now. And so you can really teach yourself this lifestyle. You really can. Years ago,
Yeah.
it wasn't that way.
No.
So, okay, well, I have a few questions for you. And
Hmm.
some of the things that we're going to cover in this video for people who are watching are, what inspired you and motivated you. We're going to talk about your website. You have an amazing website, and you have an
Thank you.
incredible Facebook group that just keeps growing. I'm blown
I
away. Yeah.
know.
And then we're going to give people some idea of the benefits of this lifestyle,
Hmm.
and some of those things. So that's what we're going to cover. So what inspired you and motivated? You mentioned that you have dealt with mental health issues, that
Hmm.
depression. Is that what changed? And how did you get started on this lifestyle, on this journey?
Well, my problems with depression started when I was 17, and I'm now 44. So it's a very long time ago. But when I was in my mid-20s, I started getting in. I read an article somewhere. I suffered from really bad depression. I read an article one day, this was before the internet, about nutrition and depression. And I thought, I'm just going to try that. I've got nothing else to lose. Nothing else is helping me. And within days of changing my diet, I could start to feel myself feeling better. So after like 8 years of suffering, yeah, it was so fast. Within a few days, and then it just got better and better after that. So it literally happened so fast, and I was blown away by how easily I'd actually combated something that I'd suffered with for so many years, just through changing my diet and
I'm
exercising.
so glad you're sharing this, because there's so many people who are dealing with depression and anxiety and mental health disorders, and they can benefit from this information. And like I said, I noticed the same thing within a few days to a week. I started feeling better already.
Yeah.
And I have healed myself. I feel amazing. I feel better than I ever have, ever. And
people need to know.
Yes. And so this is life-changing stuff, and people need to know this, because I know you mentioned exercise, but I've talked about this on Facebook also. Most people know they got to exercise. Most people know those things that, and it's incredibly important, but they overlook how important the role of nutrition is in mental health and feeling well. And so that's what I always try to let them know about, is this area which gets overlooked all the time. And that's why we're doing these kinds of interviews.
Yeah, most people, of course, most people don't really, not especially, I notice it a lot. Most people don't have a clue about nutrition and how it makes them feel. They just don't have a clue. They've never done it, and so they never know the difference.
They don't make a connection.
They don't. Most people are just eking by and not really feeling very great, but not bad enough to doing anything about it. So well, if they realize that they could feel so much better than they do, I think everybody would change. You just got to see it for yourself. You've got to feel it for yourself. And then once you start, you can't go back, because you don't ever want to go back to feeling like that.
Yes.
And I never would, ever.
Totally. It's just, you change as a person, and it changes your whole life.
It does.
And I've talked about this too, and it changes every aspect of your life, from your social interactions to interactions, your work performance. I mean, there was seriously a time at my work, I would go into work and I was like a space cadet, because I was so full of anxiety and depression. I couldn't focus and I couldn't concentrate. And it's just a world of difference. It
makes you stronger.
And it makes you strong, and it makes you
mentally stronger.
When you start removing the animal products and the processed foods from your diet, there's physiological changes that happen within you. And there's science to show this, how you become more connected to people, the environment, and compassionate as a person. And you know this, right, Stefanie? You want to talk about that just a bit?
Yeah, because I mean, in the last 3 years, since I went completely plant-based, because I wasn't before, but I never ate processed foods and junk. So I've never, ever eaten that for many years. But since going completely plant-based, I noticed in the last year or so, definitely a more of a connection to nature and a compassion to everything. I mean, it blows me away sometimes. I feel like this love for everything that I never even realized
it happened to me too
before.
Me too, Stefanie, and it's happening to thousands of people that are changing.
We need it for the planet.
We sure do. For people who are watching this, a whole food plant-based diet focuses on what? And you share a lot of information on your website. So just give people an idea of what this lifestyle is like. What are the categories of food that you focus on?
Well, do you mean like protein,
fats?
Yeah.
And nuts and seeds, whole grains and lentils and fresh vegetables and fresh fruits and rice. So these are the staples basically of this diet.
Oh yeah. I probably eat 90%. if not 95% of all of the whole foods of the whole foods diet. Yeah.
Right.
I
And it's
yeah.
and it's about minimizing or eliminating
Yeah.
processed foods, which
Yeah.
make up about 63% of our diet right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
standard American diet, at least here in America. You're in London or outside of London. You're in the UK,
Yep.
and I don't know what it's like there, but we have this huge obesity problem.
Well,
So
we're
many
second
people.
to you.
What's that?
We're second to you, the
Second to
US.
us.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're right behind us.
Yeah.
And, so, as you probably know, a lot of these industrialized countries are picking up on our bad habits. They're picking up on the Western habits, the Western
I
lifestyle.
know. Yeah.
Don't do what we're doing. We're not doing it right. We're doing it wrong.
And now
Don't,
these countries that never had the diseases that we have are now having the diseases that we have. So it's obvious it's from the food.
exactly.
It couldn't be more obvious, could it?
No.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done studies that people who have lived in healthy nations, they come over here, their diet changes, and they gain all that weight.
I know.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's the lifestyle. It really, really is.
Sure.
So, what is a tip or some tips and advice that you would give people who want to start transitioning to this lifestyle or want to make these changes to a whole food plant-based lifestyle? What are some of the things that you would suggest, Stephanie?
Well, I would say maybe some people can't do everything at once. Sometimes that's a problem. Sometimes you should maybe start more slowly and build yourself up, give up 1 or 2 things a week and then build it up from there if you're that type of person, because a lot of the times people will go all in and then they don't stick to it. So maybe build yourself up a bit if that's better. Slowly start changing certain foods for other foods. Start adding more beans and more vegetables into your diet. Start using nut milks and start using all of those different products, and maybe build it up if rather than go all in. But that's just, some people find that easier to do. From what I've gathered on the group that I now have, people like to kind of build it up a bit. So I would do that. I would probably, if you get your family involved, is probably one of the biggest things, because if you're going to be cooking different meals for yourself, you're probably going to get a bit fed up with that. So try and get the family involved, make them, get them to try new things. Yeah. Also, another great thing that I do is I order a local veg box. So that makes me eat all the foods that are in the veg box, which are usually things that I wouldn't ordinarily buy in a supermarket. And there's always different things in there every week. Everything's seasonal, and you're forced to improvise and use those foods and find new recipes around those foods. And maybe try a new recipe every week. Always keep yourself, so you don't get bored, keep trying new things.
Yes.
Don't let it get boring, otherwise you might.
There are literally hundreds, thousands of recipes, plant-based recipes that are out there on websites and groups and blogs that you can learn all these amazing recipes.
Yeah.
So you're right, and that's what I tell people too. If you can learn one new one every week, at the end of the
there you
week,
go.
I follow someone who's very successful with this lifestyle, and what she says is, do the math. One every week, that's 52 new recipes in 1 year that you've learned.
Yeah.
So that could be a great goal. And I know you have a lot of recipes on your website, which is zestforever.com, right? So it's zestforever.com.
Yeah.
But there's 2 different websites, and I went to the wrong one accidentally. So how do people get to your website?
No, the one that you went to was forever.com. You left a gap in between the zest and the forever. So it only it only linked to the forever. So as long as you put in zest forever as one word, it will come up.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Because I want people to be able to have this information to be able to benefit, because you have some amazing things on your website. It's a great website. It really is. It's full of so much information.
Yeah. Well, I've been working on it for 3 years.
Wow. Well, I can tell because it's doing very well. So a little bit about your website. I was checking it out. You have plant-based how-to guides on there. You have
Yep,
information on weight loss through this
yep,
lifestyle, fat-burning foods, antioxidants, recipes. I mean, there's just
yep,
a wealth of information. So
yep.
please check out Stephanie's website, Zest
There's
for
also
Us.
some great meal plans on there too, like week if you want like shopping list and a meal plan, because some people like to have it, the shopping list. They can go and get the shopping and then the meal plan all written out. So there is a couple of week-long meal plans with shopping lists on there, which people find really helpful too.
Yes.
So yeah, you can find them if you go to the plant-based eating guides section.
Nice. And we'll talk about your group too, that's growing really well. You're helping so
Hmm.
many people, Stephanie, but what are the benefits that you've seen? Because you work with so many people, and I know you connect with so many people on
Hmm.
Facebook and in blogs. What are some of the benefits that you've seen, some of their experiences? Like if you could pick a couple that just you're still so thrilled on how it's changed their life. Do you have any that you could share?
Well,
Stories?
yeah, I do because I'm on a few other groups as well, and I often look at sometimes people will ask the question, what are the benefits that you've seen since you've been plant-based? That will be a question on the thread. It's been on my thread too, and always what comes up the most is I've reversed my type 2 diabetes and my cholesterol is now normal. Even within a couple of weeks, people are saying that. And I see that. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't, but I'm just saying what I've seen people have written over and over and over again is about the cholesterol and the type 2 diabetes and also mood too. So I'd say those three things are the top things that people have noticed really fast.
And energy.
And energy, of
Oh
course.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely
Your
energy.
energy
Yeah.
starts going through the roof. You're like a jackrabbit. You just start running.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
You have
It's
all this energy.
crazy.
And you got to burn it off. So that really helps people in their weight loss efforts. It all
Yeah.
works together because most people, I don't know what it's like in the UK, but here in America, we walk around half tired all day long. And it's
Yeah.
just enough. Most people have just enough energy to get through their day after they worked, taking care of kids, whatever. So
That's
this
it.
gives you
Yeah.
that energy. So if you're trying to lose weight, get healthier, and go to the gym, most people don't have that at the end of the day.
No,
Where
no, of course
a
not.
plant-based lifestyle allows you to have sustained energy throughout the whole day.
Yep. Yep. That is one of the major benefits. Yeah. Yep.
Yes, and
Definitely.
diabetes and blood pressure and
Yeah.
cholesterol, all of those things, those are the benefits, including weight loss, that
Hmm.
come along with this lifestyle, plus others. Again,
Plus
I'm
many
no
more.
doctor either, but it's just these are the things that I know from the research, the studies I've seen, and all the information and talking to so many people like yourself.
Hmm. Yeah, I've seen it so many times. Like I say, I've seen it so many times that it has to be the case.
And how could it be a better time than now to focus on our health and immunity with the
Hmm.
coronavirus pandemic? This is a wake up call.
Hmm.
It really is that we have to
Hmm.
start putting our health first. And it starts by what we put in our mouth because our immune system is the number one defense mechanism that we have to protect our bodies. Number one.
Yeah,
All of these other
exactly.
things, social distancing, wearing masks is all great and that's wonderful, but it starts with your immune system.
Definitely. Yeah, of course. It stands to reason the stronger your immune system is, that you're more likely to get over something if you do get it and
Yes.
probably not even get it in the first place.
Yes. Or if you do get
Hmm.
it, you'll recover from it.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
Wonderful. So your Facebook group, which is growing extensively, and it still amazes me. We talked about that a little bit. So what is your group? And tell me a little bit about it. I know you have, I thought you mentioned, was that correct? Like 300 members a week, new
I,
members that are coming into your group? Or
I
a
got
day? I
well
forgot.
a day. I was getting a couple of hundred a day recently. So obviously something I know, yeah. And
Yes.
it tends to ebb and flow, but on average it's around 100 a day, I would say. But there
So
have been
tell,
some really high spikes.
that's so awesome. So tell people what your name of your Facebook group is so they can start learning this information and join.
Okay, so it's a plant-based diet for busy people plus fast and easy recipes. So
Right.
I
So
think people
plant-based
like that.
diet for busy people and fast, easy recipes. That's
Yeah.
correct, right?
Hmm.
Okay, on
I think
Facebook.
that's what draws people in because everybody loves fast and easy,
Yes,
and everybody's
absolutely.
busy.
Nowadays, so it's the same way where you are.
Yeah.
It's no different. Yes, we live
Nobody
for
wants to
something
spend
faster.
too much time in the kitchen.
Yes. And so, yes, so you have a blog,
Hmm.
and your group is just really growing well. So yes, that's wonderful. Is there anything else that you would like to share with people, Stephanie, before we wrap things up?
Well, on the group now, I have recently, just to make it easier for people, I've recently opened up a units section. So I'm putting all of the great recipes that people post, the ones that get the most engagement, into the units section. So now when people come to the group, they don't have to scroll looking for recipes. You can go straight into the units section and find all of the best ones in there. And you can also find in there the guides from my website, and lots of other information about plant-based eating. So I want the group to be like a one-stop place for people to find everything. So that's where I'm heading with it.
Well, I
Yeah.
just love what you're doing, Stephanie. You're helping so many people to change this lifestyle, and you're changing lives, and that's what I've been helping to do as well for 7 years now too.
Yeah.
And yes, check out both the Facebook group to get more information and your website. And this is just an incredible journey. And if you would like to if you found this useful, this information, please share it and help others. And it's just an amazing thing that you're helping with and you're doing. And so
Thank you.
thank you so much for taking the time. And uh, my just if you like these types of videos and you want to see more of these interviews, you can check out Rob Lee Nutrition, which is my YouTube channel, and it's ROBLEE Nutrition. And I have a lot of videos on there and helpful information as well, and more interviews. So if you like them, you can check that out as well. Thanks, Stephanie, so much.
Thanks, Rob.
And it's been a pleasure. And
Yes, it has.
we'll talk again soon in the future. Maybe do another one.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Have a great day, and we'll talk to
Thank
you later.
you. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
stay well.
Bye.
Bye.